Okay, so as we saw in this demonstration, you really have two forces here. You have this force here, the push from behind, and this friction working against the car. So again, car is at rest, unbalanced force pushes on the car, moving at straight lines in a new speed. Friction is working against it to cause the car to eventually stop. So if we're looking at that from a forces point of view, there's two forces going on here. The first force is the push from behind. We're going to say that's 10 newtons. The second force is friction, and of course it's going in the opposite direction, and let's just say it's 3 newtons. Okay, so obviously the total, these are unbalanced forces because they are different amounts of newtons. So the final result from this, the net force from this, is going to be 7 newtons. Okay, and we know this, we've seen this a lot already. So that's primarily two forces. Now what would happen if you suddenly introduced a new force? So you have a force that could go this way, you have friction pushing back this way, but what if you also introduced a force like this? Okay, so we have a force this way, you have a force this way. Pause your video for a moment and think, how are those two forces the same and how are they different? Go ahead and pause the video and write that down. Okay, so the thing that we see that they have in common is, in this case, the object moves, the car moves in the same direction that the force pushes it. In this situation, the car moves in the same direction that the force pushes. So the force is pushing here and the car moved here, the same direction. The force was pushing this way and the car moved. So that's what they have in common. Obviously what they have differently is one force was pushing the car forward and one force was pushing the car to the side. So as you can see, it's pushed this way, it goes kind of horizontally. This way it's pushed vertically. What would happen though, and I want you to predict, what would happen if I hit the car from behind and the side at the exact same time? Go ahead and pause your video for a moment and make a prediction about what you would think would happen. Okay, so what did you say? Let's take a look and see what would happen if we actually hit the car, two different forces, at the exact same time. Let me see if I can time this right. Okay, as you can see, the car did not travel straight this way. It did not travel straight this way. It actually traveled at an angle. And what you have there is two forces acting on the car at the same time. You have this force acting this way. Let's say that was 5 newtons. And you have this force acting this way. And let's say that's 5 newtons. So neither force is stronger. And so this force cannot completely push the car this way. And this force cannot completely push the car this way. So what they do is they combine forces. They have a net force that pushes the car at an angle. Instead of this way or this way, it actually pushed the car at an angle, which, if you think about it, is a combination of this direction and this direction. The car at an angle. So that is the result of the net force, that the car would travel this way. All right.